Hello and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hi, my name is Mary and welcome to another Craft Day Friday, where every Friday I post a new video. In today's video I am going to be making a shoe bank for my friend's daughter. She liked the little shoes that I made Wednesday, and she asked me if I could make her daughter a bigger version of that shoe but into a money bank. She'll be turning 5 soon, I believe. And so, yeah. And I decided to just go ahead and do a video on it just in case if anybody else wanted to see how it was done. So basically what you're going to need for this project is I am going to be using pink felt because this is the color that she wants. I am going to be using a real shoestring, scissors, a pencil, blue pipe cleaners or any other color that you want. I'm just going with the colors that she asked for. And you're going to be needing something to make your shoe with. I am going to be using this cashier can. I got two different sizes. I got a size 14 ounce and an 8 ounce, and this is what it looks like. And I went ahead and glued these together, that way they can be dry, because I needed it to be dry before I could even do anything. So basically what I did was I took my two cans and I glued them together with hot glue and E6000. So this is what you're going to do. You're just going to go ahead and glue those two together, and you want to leave the lid on one and you don't need the lid on the other one because we're going to cover that with cardboard. And if I didn't mention that, you're going to need a piece of cardboard also. So I went ahead and cut a slit in here, and we're just going to cover this one. So I am going to go ahead and turn my camera down. So first thing I did was I glued everything together just like this. I glued it right down the middle. So this is, let's turn this a little bit so everything's not looking green. So I glued it right down the middle, just like that. And I took my can and I set it on here and I traced around it. So once you trace, you want to go ahead and cut that out. Let's go ahead and move this stuff out of the way. And all I'm doing is just cutting this circle out. Because we're just going to cover that lid. You could use the actual top that comes with it, but I wanted something that's going to be sturdy. So let's see how this is going to look. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to put some hot glue on your cardboard. And you want to make sure that you get real close to the edge. And you want to put a generous amount. And then we're going to bring that and we're just going to stick this down on there. And I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bit of hot glue around. And then I'm just going to hold my finger and take my hand and press down on here to make sure that everything is glued and secured. And I'm just going to take my scissors and just cut a little bit of that off. There we go. And I'm just adding a little extra glue because sometimes you have to. just to make sure everything is locked in. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of pressure on here just to make sure that this is good and on here real good and it's not going anywhere. So now that we have our top on, and you don't have to do anything to the bottom because it's already covered, so when you put the money in, it's not going to fall out. And I am so sorry, y'all. My dogs are barking at the mail carrier. So we have that. So Coco and Minnie, cut it out. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our felt. I'm going to set that to the side. And we're basically, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and I'm going to glue these two pieces together because this one piece is not going to be long enough. So I am just going to take a little bit of that hot glue and we're just going to go down just like this. And we're going to go ahead and stick this on here like that. And if I didn't mention in the beginning, you're also going to need hot glue. I'm just going to hold this for a minute. Make sure that is good and secure. Now what I'm going to do is I am just going to cut off a little bit of this. And I'm just trying to keep it as even as possible. So now we're going to bring our can back, and I'm just going to set this right at the beginning just to see how it's going to look before I wrap it around. And I may need to take a little more off. So yeah, basically what I'm doing is just cutting and holding just to see, because I don't really know exactly how much I'm going to need to cut, because you can always take away, but you can't add. Okay, now I'm just going to give this a little stretch. Now we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to put some hot glue right down the middle. Just like this. And very carefully, I am just going to try to get this, because it's kind of hard for me to. Let me add just a little more hot glue. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this right up against there just like this. And I'm just going to turn it, and I'm just making sure that I got everything lined up nice and that nothing is overlapping on the bottom, because we still want this to set flat, so you don't want to put too much over the bottom. So now I am just going to go ahead and just continue to add the hot glue. So very carefully, and then you want to pull it a little to make sure that everything is nice and tight. Put a little bit of hot glue down through here. Remember to tug to make sure everything is nice and tight. Now I'm just going to go ahead and continue to put some hot glue around here. So basically all we're doing is just going around the whole shoe. And now I'm just going to turn it over and do the same thing on this side, just to make sure we got everything evenly. So hot glue. Just going to pull it to make sure everything is even. Tuck down in there, just like that. Now, what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and I am just going to tuck this in. So we're going to push in here. So you're going to put some hot glue right down in the middle of this. And what we're going to do is we're just going to tuck the ends like this, making sure that we get everything nice and even. Put a little bit of hot glue down here, here, and over here. Tuck it. And now I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue down through here. Push that down on there and a little bit here. Tuck that. And now for this, I'm just going to go ahead and take my scissors and I'm just going to trim away a little bit of that. So I'm going to go this way. And basically what I'm doing is trying to get this under the rim because I don't want to cover this lid. Because I want this to be able to still be removed. So I think what I'm going to do is just tuck this. I think that's going to be the easiest way to go. So just going to put this on here. I'm just going to pull this up like this. So basically, I'm just going around and making sure that everything is... Sorry, I was out of frame. Sorry. Okay. There we go. So now I'm just going to grab some hot glue. And we're just going to go around this lid. Being very careful not to burn your fingers. So now I'm just pulling tight around here. So we're just going to put a little bit of hot glue down through here. And this is the part that's kind of time consuming because you want to make sure that you have everything nice and neat. So yeah, I don't want to rush this step. I'm trying to be extra careful and that I don't move too fast. So yeah. Add in a little more glue. Add in a little more glue right here. And just, so basically all you're doing is just going around the entire can with the pink felt. And like I mentioned before, this step is kind of, yes, this step is you want to take your time with it. Don't want to rush it. Put a little bit. So, yep, just keep going around the can until you got the whole can covered in that felt. And now we're going to do the same thing to the other side. So I'm just going to go ahead, tuck this, put a little bit of hot glue right across there. And then we're just going to tuck it under, add a little more hot glue, tuck it under, and pull tight. And I am actually going to go ahead and add a little bit of hot glue right there. Pull that tight. And I'm going to cut some of this off. So take your scissors and cut. Just like that. And now we're going to go ahead and even this up. A little bit of hot glue. Pull it tight. And this one is definitely a little harder to work with than the small ones that I made. But yeah, it can be done. There we go. I'm adding a little more. And there we have it all the way around. I'm going to add a little bit of hot glue right there. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take some of that felt and we're going to make a tongue. So now I'm going to take just a piece of strip of this felt. And I am just going to round it out, make like a U shape, and this is going to make our tongue. So go all the way around. And then we're going to go up like this. And just give it a little tug, and here is our tongue. But before I do that, I want to add just another strip of pink. So basically what I'm doing is I am just going to tuck a little piece in here, just like this. So grab your glue, put a little bit of hot glue there. We're going to put a little bit of hot glue on the other side, and we're going to put some hot glue down through here, here, and here. Now I'm going to add my tongue. So it's going to be like that. So we're going to put a layer of hot glue right across the top, just like that. And I am just going to go ahead and place that. Let's turn it this way so y'all can see. I'm going to place that right about here. Because remember, we don't want to glue the lid in place. You want the lid to be able to be removed. So this is what we have. So now that we have that, I want to put a piece of this in the back just to clean up my actually, let's make that a little wider. So I'm just going to cut this here like that. And we're just going to add that to the back like this. And then we'll have that fold over like that. So all I'm going to do is just put a little bit of hot glue. Let's turn this up a little so y'all can see. So I am going to put a little hot glue right down the seam, right down the middle. Now take your piece of felt and we're just going to stick that right down on here. Like that. Now, just going to go in and add a little bit of hot glue right down the middle on each side. Like this. And I'm just going to cut. I got a little piece that's I'm not happy with. So I'm going to go ahead and trim that off. There we go. And the back here, I'm just going to give it a little fold. And I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue right down the middle. I am just going to tuck that like this. And then we're just going to stick it like that. So this is what the back look like and the sides. Now, she asked if I would put blue hearts on it. So I have my pipe, I have my 2 blue hearts here, and I'm going to stick them here and here like that. So we're just going to grab that hot, and I'll show y'all how I made those using the pipe cleaner. So we got stick that right there. And then I'm just going to stick this one right in the middle. So just like that. So there's the hearts. And I'm just going to go ahead and move this stuff out of the way. So what I did to make the hearts, I'm just going to make one more because I'm going to put it right here. So basically what I did was I took, let's get some of this glue off my fingers. So basically what I did to make the heart was I bent it in like that. And then I bent it out. And I did the same thing to the other side. Let's try that again. So in. And here's our little heart. And I'm just going to twist it like that. Take your scissors and you just want to cut the extra off. And here is your little heart. And I think I'll stick that one right here. And now I'm just going to go ahead and put that here. So now what we're going to do is she wanted some fluff. So I got my white yarn here. It's the fluffy yarn. I got this at Walmart. I'm not sure how much I paid because I bought this over 2 years ago. I just never did anything with it. Like I made a couple things with it, but you don't really need a lot of it. And you actually get a lot. So, yeah. So basically, I'm just going to go in all the way around this entire shoe. And then go all the way around. It's going to continue to go around the whole shoe bank, whatever you want to call it. Well, it is a shoe bank. But yeah. So when her mom asked me if I could make her one, I was like, yeah, like it shouldn't be that hard to make it bigger. So I decided to just, give it a try. And why not film, like I said, just in case of somebody else wanted to make this for their little one. Cut that like that. And I'm not going to go all the way. I'm not going to go like over the tongue. I'm just going to do this like. So we're just going to put a little bit here. Like that. And I'm just going to stick that there. And we're just going to go here. I'm going to cut it off right there. Now we're going to turn this over and do the other side. So from here, I should really invest in some longer glue sticks. So from here to about here. So we're just going to go ahead, stick that on just like this. And we're going to cut the rest of it off. And this is what we have so far. And the lid still do come off. And I'm just cleaning up some of the glue that I may have gotten on it. We're going to stick that back on there. So this is what we have so far. I'm going to add just a little bit of hot glue right there. And I'm just going to stick that on. And I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Still removable. Now what we're going to do is you're going to grab your shoestring. And I'm using an actual shoestring. And we're basically just going to lace the shoe. We're going to make sure everything is even. And I'm just going to put a dab of hot glue right there. And we're just going to go ahead and stick that on here just like this. I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue here. And a little bit of hot glue right down through here. So now what we're going to do, I'm just going to slide this over just a little bit because it wasn't exactly even. So now I'm just going to hold that here for a minute and allow that time to dry. And we're just going to go ahead and continue to lace the shoe. Like this. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to lace this a different way. We're going to go, I'm just going to crisscross it. Just like this. So we're going to put a little bit of hot glue down through here. Stick that there. And I'm going to stick a little bit down through here. And this part here is also time consuming. So I'm just basically just lacing up the shoe. That way, if she wants, she can play with the shoelace. She can also practice tying if she don't already know how. I'm not sure if she do or not. And I'm just going to put a dab of glue there. And then we're just going to go here. And then I'm just going to go one more time back this way. So we're just going to like I said, we're just going to continue to lace the shoe until we get to the end. So we're going to put a little bit of hot glue there, a little bit here, and here. There we go. Now, I'm not going to tie it right now because I want everything to dry in place. So I'm going to leave it just like that. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this lid off. And I am just going to go ahead, take my pencil, and we're going to trace around the lid. And we're going to cut it out. And this is where you can have fun with it. You can add anything to the shoe to make it your own. Yeah, so there's so many things that you can do with the shoe once you make it. You can add so many other details. So yeah. So I am just going to go ahead and take my scissors and I am just going to cut a little slit in here, just like that. And I'm just going to give this a little stretch, a little tug. That way I can stretch it out a little bit and make sure that it fits over the lid. Now I didn't cut this awful even because it's really hard to cut out a perfect circle even if you trace it. And I want some of the, I'm going to leave it just like this. And here we have our little shoe bank where you can stick money in it. So this is what we have. And if you want to stick money in it, you can. And it'll be super easy to get out also. Just lift the lid and there you have it. Now let's go ahead and tie the shoe. And there's our shoe. Here it is on the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my camera back up so y'all can see me. So here is our little shoe bank. Yeah, like I said, you can add anything you want to make it your own. So yeah, with that being said, if you like this video, please give me a like and a thumbs up. Please feel free to share this video with your family and friends. If you are not already subscribed, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can become part of my YouTube family. And yeah, with that being said, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch my videos. I hope you all have a very nice day. Bye.